everyone. Welcome to Lindsay's Loves. I'm Lindsay, and this is the channel for plants, rants, and so much more. And today I am going to be talking about the ways that you can buy plants specific to Canada, and I'm in Ontario because this is very sort of regional due to the fact that there are phytosanitary certificates. Cross-border, it gets a little bit more complicated. But I have been asked in my DMs over on Instagram, where you can find me at Miss Lindsay M, where I buy plants. And as opposed to focusing on like naming specific stores that I buy from, I thought it would be more interesting to talk about the different ways that you can buy plants. Because when I was first starting out, I really only thought of like the in-store option, like shopping locally at a greenhouse or at a big box store for the plants that they carry. And if it didn't come locally to you, then you were out of luck. And since then, my eyes have been wide opened to all the different ways that you can purchase plants. So, of course, that is one, that you can purchase them in person, in store, without any pre-planning, no shopping online in advance. Of course, you can't really do that during a lockdown as we're in right now when there is curbside pickup only. But I think for many reasons this is beneficial because you get to inspect the plant, you get to check for pests, you get to look at the shape, the size, the version that you want, the specimen that you want, as opposed to just picking, you know, a snake plant, a pearls and jade. You get what I'm saying. So as I was saying, when you shop in person, you get to inspect the plant, you get to choose the specimen. And I was just filming another video where I was showing off my new Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, the non-tissue culture version. And I was saying that this, because of that sort of issue at the back there with the new growth being a bit damaged, this necessarily wouldn't have been the specimen that I picked myself. So that's a benefit for shopping in the store, is that you get to choose the exact plant that you want. However, they may not have the genus, the species that you're looking for at all. So my local garden center would almost certainly not have had a non-tissue culture Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. So the other thing that I find that's an issue with in-store purchases are that they can be pretty impulsive. So whenever I've shopped in-store, I've almost always ended up with one plant that I probably shouldn't have brought home, that I didn't love as much as I should have, but I thought, oh my goodness, it's here, let me get it, or it's a good price, why not? And for me, that is a con to shopping in person. Of course, when you are shopping online, there are some cons, and that's particularly pointed out by this one, is that you don't get to choose the specimen, the plant that you would particularly want to choose. And the other struggle with online shopping is the shipping. So some plants ship really well, others do not. I think, as my understanding actually, is that the butterwort, for example, does not ship very well. I could be wrong about that, but there are lots of plants that don't ship well, is my point. And that's particularly true in Canada during the winter. So if you live in a colder climate, and this can even be a problem in like the deep heat of the summer as well, that can just be a problem for shipping plants, even if they're shipped overnight. Now, we do have some incredible sellers in our area that do ship during the winter, but most of them shut down shipping for the winter. And I personally am not using companies that ship during the winter unless, like, I'm willing to make an exception for a very, very good reason. They have a good shipping record, the plant is that desirable, etc. But for the most part, I've found that I'm settling in the middle ground, especially during this curbside pickup only lockdown, which is I'm ordering plants online and having them delivered, or picking them up curbside, except someone else is doing the picking up for me. I'm paying a third-party company, which is Plant Runs, to pick the plants up for me. And they did deliver all of these plants right here. So I am happy to reference them in this video because I think their service is great, and I wouldn't be ordering the kind of plants or the quantity of plants that I am if I didn't have them to bring them to me. So that I think is the best option currently. Now, don't get me wrong, I can't wait to be back to able to shop in the nursery during the summer in greenhouses, to look at the plants, to touch the plants, to explore all the plants. That is great. But for the time being, the conditions that exist right now, I can't recommend using Plant Runs enough. Or if you're close enough to the nursery, which I generally am not, you can pick them up curbside pickup yourself. So make sure to support local and small as much as you can. That's the other great part about Plant Runs, is that they give me access to lots of small businesses that I just wouldn't have access to living where I live. So I'm able to support businesses that are run by 1 or 2 people on their own, and I think that feels really great as opposed to buying from big box stores. So yeah, those are the 3 main ways that I purchase plants as a Canadian. Now, you can certainly get into importing plants, which of course falls under the category of shopping online and having the plants shipped to you. But I have not personally done that yet myself. I do intend to at some point, so I'll post a review when I do. Lots of people have success, lots of other people have horror stories. I think if you're getting a really good deal on some plants that are pretty inaccessible, then it can be worth the extra fees that are required, not only for express shipping from a distance, but for the phytosanitary certificate. And I do believe you also need to have an import permit as a Canadian. So some other countries only need to have the phytosanitary, I believe, just that one piece of paperwork, but we have 2, so the fees start to add up, which is why so far I've only been shopping locally. But some of these plants that I want are triple digits, over $1,000 even. So I'm just not going to be able to pay those prices for Canadian plants that have already been imported, and I'm probably going to have to take a chance and see if I can get them cheaper elsewhere. Let me know in the comments if you have ever imported plants. And I've always been curious about one other way that you could buy plants, which we can't do right now, of course, but as I do naturally intend to travel to some of these countries, am I able to purchase them while I'm there, ship them back to myself? Can I get the phytosanitary certificate and the import certificate and carry them with me on the plane so they're safe? Do they have to be shipped? I'm super curious if anyone has experience with this. I would love to hear about it in the comments. Please let me know. And I'm definitely open to hearing your favorite places to buy plants online or in person. Personally, I recommend checking out the Plant Runs website, because then you will know for sure that the all of the vendors, all of the greenhouses, nurseries on that website are, you can get the plants delivered by Plant Runs. So that's my recommendation, especially for the winter time in Southern Ontario in Canada. Use Plant Runs. This is seriously not sponsored. I would always tell you if it was. It's just my genuine truth. This is what I do to get plants to me right now. It's the way that I'm comfortable shopping, and that's that. So Thank you everyone. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give me a thumbs up down below. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you would like to, but I hope you will because I do have that giveaway coming out very soon, if not already. So make sure you subscribe to ensure that you don't miss out. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.